to order brochures that can be left out for visitors. Most organizations will provide them free of charge. If you belong to MySpace or another social networking group or have a blog, write about domestic abuse and provide links to the organizations you mention. You never know who might take that all-important first step because of you. If you have your own website, include a link to a domestic violence awareness website on your homepage. If you have been the victim of domestic abuse yourself, consider sharing your story with others. Contact a local shelter, domestic abuse counseling center, or other service and tell them that you would like to support others with your success story. Knowing that others have succeeded is the single most empowering motivator for victims. Find out about a walkathon or fundraiser in your area on behalf of domestic violence awareness, then donate your time or money. It will raise money and awareness at the same time, and you will probably discover that you will want to go back for more. Once you have worked with the people who have been affected by domestic violence. Intervention. There is nothing more difficult than knowing that someone is in an abusive relationship and not being able to stop the abuse. Unfortunately, there are very few ways individuals can intervene in an abusive relationship beyond being supportive and encouraging the victim to leave the relationship. Because both parties are adults, the law does not allow the police to intervene unless the abuse is actually taking place at the time of intervention. The do's and don'ts of intervening can be complex. A few things to keep in mind include: do not antagonize. Do not antagonize a suspected abuser in any setting. If, for instance, you are in a social setting and he is verbally abusive to his wife, do not confront him or shame him. While this may be satisfactory at the time, he will most likely take his humiliation out on his partner later in private. In these situations, it is best to reassure the victim unobtrusively and simply try to diffuse the situation without upsetting the abuser. You want to mollify him, not upset him. Be discreet. If you suspect someone is being abused and you cannot talk to her alone, give her your contact information or business card with domestic violence information on it in private, never in the presence of their abuser. If a group of you is at a restaurant, perhaps you can go to the restroom together. Be sure that you provide them the information in a form that they can hide, a small piece of paper or similar, that they can tuck into their shoe or safely hide. This may sound paranoid, but many abusers search purses and pockets regularly because they are paranoid and controlling. Do not give an abuser another excuse. Take notes. When a friend confesses to you that she is being abused, it is an important first step for them. It may take weeks or even months before they are ready to take the next step. You can encourage them to leave, but only they will know when they are ready to do this. In the meantime, do the record keeping that they probably are not mentally ready to do. When you see bruises or notice that they are favoring one arm or leg over another, note it on a calendar. Keep track of any physical changes, appetite problems, and missed days at work. All of this information can be valuable later on if there are formal charges or if she ends up in the emergency room. A pattern of physical problems or missed work is a powerful indicator of potential problems at work and can substantiate any claims she makes against her abuser. Contact the authorities. If you witness physical abuse taking place, contact the authorities immediately. If the assault is taking place in a car, get the license plate number and a description of the vehicle in case he drives her to another location. If your friend calls you asking for help, reassure her that you will send help, then hang up and immediately call 911 and give them the location she called from and her telephone number. Be prepared. Intervention is only effective if you are ready when the time comes. If you know someone you care about is being abused, you need to be prepared when the time comes. In most cases, the decision to leave may come in the middle of the night are at some crisis point in the relationship and can seem to be very sudden from your point of view. There will be little or no warning, so it is essential that you know in advance in what ways you can help them. Decide what you are comfortable providing and have it ready so that when you get that call in the middle of the night, you can have what they need at a moment's notice. Regardless of whether that is a temporary cell phone, some cash, a ride to some place such as a shelter or a relative's home, a safe place to stay, transportation to the hospital, clothing for her and her children. Make a list, commit yourself to it, and let your friend know that when the time comes, you will be there for her. Emotional support. Although it is the least concrete thing you can provide, emotional support is the most important thing you can give a victim of domestic violence. These individuals question every aspect of their lives, including whether their own feelings and emotions are valid. Finding someone who will listen with sympathy and who believes them can be a turning point for them. The most important thing you must do is listen to them without becoming angry or judgmental. Remember that they have probably been abused for some time and they no longer trust their own judgment or abilities. If you immediately tell them they are wrong for staying, they will shut down and withdraw, and you will lose all hope of reaching them. The negative messages they have been getting from their abuser have left a mark, so do not reinforce it. The first step is to simply ask. Often a question as simple as, "Are you okay?" can open the conversation. If you know the person very well, you could ask, "Is everything okay between you and Bob?" Or, "Did Larry hit you? You seem like your arm is sore." Then let them lead the conversation. Often having the opening to start the conversation is all that is needed. Listen, then listen some more. Be quick to listen and slow to talk. At first, a victim of abuse may be hesitant to talk, but the more you listen, the more she will open up and talk to you. The catharsis of talking about it will be a healing experience and a relief for her. It will also build a sense of trust and be a relief for her, knowing that you have not immediately criticized her or judged her. Remind her that she is not alone. Let her know that she is not facing her situation alone and that she can overcome her situation. And also that millions of other women from all walks of life have faced this situation and achieved great things. Reassure her that she is an intelligent, vibrant, wonderful woman, like the many other women and men who have been abused before her. Many victims feel like they are all alone. Tell her that she is not alone and that she can rebuild a good life for herself. Emphasize that there are many, many organizations to help people in her situation and that you can help her get in touch with these groups. Tell her that it is not her fault. Do not let her talk herself down. No matter what she has done, no matter what her abuser has told her, be sure that you make it clear that there is never an excuse for abuse of any kind. If she mentions alcohol, drugs, financial problems, jealousy, or mental illness, make it very clear that those may be symptoms of other problems, but that they are not excuses for abuse ever. You should also explain to her that once abuse has occurred, it tends to escalate rather than diminish over time, regardless of what the causes are or what triggers it. Be available and be honest. Let your friend know that you are there for her and that she can call you whenever she is ready or needs to talk. Be willing to meet her at her convenience to discuss her options if she is considering leaving her abuser. Review her options with her and review what you can do to help her. Keep in mind the list that you prepared of what you are willing to contribute to help her achieve her escape. Above all, be honest about what you can do for her, and remember, she has been betrayed on the deepest levels, so she needs complete honesty from you about what she can expect from you. Suggest that she develop a safety plan. If your friend is not ready to leave her partner, encourage her to prepare for that eventuality at least. In a later chapter, we will discuss safety plans and how to organize one. At the least, victims should try to put aside some money and a few changes of clothing, as well as a set of keys and important documents in a safe place, with you, at work, or with a relative or neighbor, in case she has to flee suddenly. Suggest that she talk to a doctor. Professional guidance can be a powerful influence. Ask her to have any injuries checked out, photographed, and recorded. If she is not willing to see a doctor, see if she will let you photograph any injuries. A doctor can also file a police report if warranted and put the victim in contact with a domestic violence counselor. Offer her access to resources. You may want to provide her with information yourself on domestic abuse counseling services in your area. If she is interested in finding out more, she may have difficulty calling or using a home computer without being found out. If she can use your computer or telephone to call for information, or you can get her to a payphone, there will be no way for her abuser to track her activities on a home phone or shared computer. You can also show her how to clear her computer's browser history to cover her tracks. Explain to her that domestic abuse is a crime. Encourage her to keep records of every incident, including both physical violence and emotional and verbal abuse. If she is being threatened with voicemails, through email, or anything else, she should print out or save all records. She should also take notes and keep everything in a safe place where they will not be found, and take them with her when she leaves. If she decides to take legal action after leaving, these will be very valuable. Remind her that she is valuable. Be sure that you take the time to remind her of her own value as a person. Give value to her as a friend, coworker, and human being. Praise her worth as a parent, sibling, friend, and whoever and whatever she is aside from a victim of abuse. Help her to rediscover her own personality and self-worth outside of her relationship with her abuser. Help her find the strength to leave.